Check it out, guys. Back at it. Thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys been showing me on this channel. Drop in the comments what you guys want me to talk about, what you guys want to ask me, what you guys want to hear, what video you guys want me to make. Sometimes it's about personal development, getting the mind right. Sometimes it's nutrition, the diet, the workouts, keeping it simple and just showing you guys what worked for me. Showing you guys, not what I read, not what I think, not what I heard. No, actually what has helped me and what has helped all my team members get an amazing transformation mentally, physically, spiritually, because information is inconclusive. You could be, easily distracted, easily just overwhelmed with so much information out there. So just pick that one person that you see yourself oh man, you know what, I vibe with them, I could relate with them, and that's it, man. Just follow the blueprint, follow the path, check out that content, ask questions. That's how you're gonna better yourself. You guys gotta ask good questions. That's what got me out of that place that I was. If I wanted more, then I had to start asking more questions. And but it starts with believing in yourself and building that confidence within. A lot of times, if the opportunity lands in your lap, if you do get that chance, are you ready to capitalize on that? Are you ready to take that leap without that fear, without that doubt? That's where people buckle. That's where people crack. Opportunities land and they're not even motivated, or they doubt themselves of even handling that job or handling that opportunity or that position that they got. They don't feel like they're worthy of it. They don't feel that they could handle it, and they back away, they shy away, and somebody else takes it. Somebody else that's prepared, that's ready, takes that spot. That's what you don't want. If you want to better your life, you got to create the 10.0 you first, man. And keep it simple. It's not about finding a special blueprint, finding that blueprint that's that's better than the last one. No, it's actually mastering and giving it your all, the 100% attention needed on that one blueprint that you guys have. That's it. Because a lot of times when we have a blueprint, we half-ass it. That's the problem. The problem is not the blueprint. The problem is not the coach, the mentor, if you have one. The problem is you want to half-ass the whole fucking blueprint. You want to half-ass everything in life, and that's where you get half results. And then since we're good at blaming others, you opt out. You start blaming the blueprint, the coach, the mentor, and it's none of that. It's giving it your all, the 100%, and believing and having that faith and understanding that, if that person did it with that blueprint, why can't you? Why can't you get that outcome? So that answers your question right there. A lot of us got to pay attention. But what an amazing morning I had. Worked out with my son Isaiah. He's actually recording right now. My boy Moses went and took his car to get cleaned up. It's what we do on a Saturday. Keep yourself busy. On the Saturday, the temptations creep in. All this, challenges come about because it's the weekend. The weekend, people think that this is when you relax, this is when you enjoy yourself. I'm not saying not to, but don't let off, man. You still gotta continue staying disciplined on that goal that you have, and check all the boxes that you gotta check so you can get that outcome straight up. Today was an amazing day. I ran into a lot of my team members, some of them that I hadn't seen in a while. Once in a while they stop by and work out and just show up, man, just to say what's up. But it was a full house, maybe about 10 of them, man. And it was good. It was good for you to see how much your team has grown, how much your team has pushed, hear where they're at, how they are, how they're doing mentally, physically, spiritually. Not saying they don't have issues and problems, but now we have the tools and the resources to navigate through life, and like on my story this morning, in this life, life is gonna test you. You're gonna struggle one way or another. Struggle, through being disciplined, or that pain of regret. You're gonna face some kind of suffering in this life, some kind of pain, the pain of disciplining yourself, or the pain of regret, which, you know that the pain of discipline is going to get you what you want, and the pain of regret is what's going to just destroy you. It destroys you slowly but surely, because you just keep digging yourself deeper and deeper in a hole that later on, when you decide that enough is enough, now we got to work harder. Now it's going to be a lot more difficult. It's possible, but you're really going to have to buckle down. So why let it, get to that point? Why are you going to let it get to that, breaking point of, like, when people say, oh, I had to hit rock bottom. Nobody has to hit rock bottom. Just learn, wake up, be alert, man. And just, there's so many people doing it in so different ways, so different in different areas in life, of how they were able to, like, break through and better themselves, that they kind of time collapse what you're trying to do by providing a service, showing you that, hey, you know what, I could show you how it's done without you having to struggle and go through all that trial and errors. The help is out there. Are you willing to, bet on yourself? Are you ready to invest in yourself? You got to just be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror, that accountability mirror, and stop fooling yourself thinking that one day somehow you're going to find those answers. Some way, somehow you're going to, get that, you're going to get that lick. You're going to get that money that you've been wanting, and then you're going to do this, and then you're going to do that. And you're just wishing upon a star, man. You got to be real with yourself, man. Everybody here earned it. We all have a story of why we got where we got, or why we went from, being broken mentally, physically, to now bettering ourselves and working at it every day. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm not saying that I have shit all figured out, but now I have the tools and the resources that I show every day here of how to get yourself out of that negative space, negative mindset that most people can get out of. And all you do is just give more energy to those issues or those problems that we all have. Like, I hear people's problems and I'm like, okay, well, that's life. You and 99% of the people are going through that. We just gotta choose to either be a victim of circumstance, or be the victor and find the solution needed to keep pushing, keep fighting, and get that outcome. But like I said, man, this channel here, I made it for many reasons. Like I said, personal development, it's all areas. It's not just fitness and nutrition. It's also, communication skills, understanding the mind, how to break those limiting beliefs, in all areas. We want to get ourselves spiritually, in alignment with, what must be done to feel content, to feel inner peace. There's a lot of people that, man, they got an amazing physique, and people are, like, shocked because they're, like, still miserable, they're still broken, or that you still see them, like, they have issues. Man, we're all fighting through something, man. But if you don't heal, what's inside, that spiritually, the spiritual aspect, in your mind, you're still going to be broken. You're still going to be lost, man. You're going to have one area cover, which is your fitness, your health maybe, but mental, you can't forget about your mental, and that's very important, because that's where everybody cracks, man. That's where everybody, reaches to a point where they break. And then you end up hearing about, oh, man, what happened to this guy? He used to be on point, and now he's not. Now he's back to the old way, to his old ways. He's back to his old habits. And that's what you don't want. We're, like I said, before, there's no such thing as stagnation. It does not exist. Progression is life. Regression is dying slowly, man. You're actually, going backwards. And before you know it, a lot of people end up waking up and realizing of, like, shit, man, how did I get here? It's everyday choice, that you made to take a step back. It's about steadily, working at it, moment by moment. There's no need to rush the process. Like I was talking to my guys, this morning, what we're doing here through social media, through this platform that help us be accountable, on shit that we have to do. It's like we're writing a book. We're writing our story through content, through video. And that right there is the story that must be told to inspire others, to motivate others, as well as in the same time as keeping you accountable and upholding your word on what you said, because we get to see who's the one that's about it and who's the one that just talks about it. That's the difference with a lot of people, man. Are you about it, or are you gonna just talk?